Gang, I got an exciting session for you today. We are having a social security crisis that we're gonna get into. Um, Housing bubble 2.0. We're gonna get into that. $9 per gallon gas coming to your state. I said it a few months ago, and I'm betting on it that we're gonna see $9 gas at the gas pump, and we'll get into that in a little bit. And the Bank of America warning. We'll get into that as well. So I want to welcome everyone for coming here. Before I forget, if you're interested in getting subject to deals, if you're interested in uh, getting into the real estate game where the seller becomes your private bank, so you don't have to use cash, you don't have to use your own credit. All you do is just take over people's payments. If you're interested in that, then go to mrnofluff.com, download my Ninja phone script. I'm having a flash sale on that. It teaches you how to talk to sellers. It teaches you uh, cold calling. It teaches you role play. Plus, it has the phone script that we ask the questions from the sellers to get the deal. That said, let's go ahead and get started because today's topic is very crucial. As someone that has owned a business, I put a lot of money into Social Security for my workers because whatever they money was taken out of their paycheck, my company had to match that. And today, with the economy the way it is, with almost 30 million people unemployed, okay, you have to think about these people are not putting money into the system. But here's the other catch, the flip side. This is the era of baby boomers. That means so many Americans are old and they're at the age of retirement. They paid all their life into Social Security. And we already knew that Social Security was on the borderline of crashing, right? We already knew that Social Security was in the borderline of crashing. And now with more and more people, okay, more and more people not working, that means that laid off, that means that they're not putting into the system. On top of that, they're taking money out of the system for unemployment, okay? And now think about all these people that are going to be retiring already and very soon they're pulling money out of the Social Security. And there's not going to be enough money, in my opinion, to cover these people that are already baby boomers. And there's no way enough money to cover me or my kids down the line, even though that I have and you have and you have, every one of us has paid into this system um, since maybe high school or junior high, depending on when you get your first job. So simply put, we all put money into this and the system is broken. The system is broke. It cannot work anymore because so many people are unemployed, which are not contributing into it. And at the same time, there's a raising amount of older people that are, this is their retirement time where they're going to be collecting on Social Security. So if you add those two flames together, you can see that we have an exponential problem, okay? Which means that for you and me and our kids down the line, more than likely, there's not going to be the system to pay for it, especially when people are taking money from the system for being unemployed because of central banking, because of corporate greed, because of Big Brother endless wars, and things of that nature. Now, you and your kids are going to be paying the consequences, not only in the evaporation of people's pensions, but also evaporation of social safety nets like Social Security and Medicaid and Medicare, etc., ladies and gentlemen. Now, that's one problem that I don't see most people thinking about it or talking about it, okay? That there's a large volume of baby boomers and they're right at the age of retirement and they're going to be pulling in on this stuff, okay? And now the other problem is that when they're going to try to pull on this little Social Security that they're going to be getting, inflation is going to be hitting in place because all the printing that's happening by the Fed, okay? They're buying up everything by just printing money where me and you have to actually work for our money. These guys have a printing press, they push the button, they print it, they buy all the collateral, they buy all the assets, the hard assets, and I'm sure they're loving it, okay? Because it's a private owned corporation just called the Fed. If you have any guys have any questions, comments, anything about subject to, anything about my Ninja phone script, anything you want to talk about, leave a comment here. I'd be happy to discuss that. So, guys, I'm finally back from our 12-day journey. Out of the 12 days, we did ten marathons in 12 days. The marathons were on our bicycles, me, the wife, and two kids. One is 6 months, and the other one is 2.5. So, pretty tough. We're pretty excited to come back. But I wanted to go live for you because most people are not thinking about the Social Security. Then the other problem is that, for example, Bank of America just came out just a couple of days ago and said that they're going to see gold going to $3,000. But more importantly, they just came out yesterday and they also said that they're seeing the economy not going to be recovering till the end of next year. Okay. Which one thing we have to remember with these stinky bankers is that they don't like gold. So when they come out and tell you that gold's going to go up, okay, you better believe that it's going to go. I think, in my opinion, it's going to go up at least two or three times what they're saying. When they say that the crash is going to recovery is going to not be to the end of next year, okay, you better believe that it's, in my opinion, two or three times that amount because they have never came out. Bank of America never came out, or the Fed has never came out and said, "Look, we're about to have a recession. About to have a depression." They never come and tell you this stuff. Okay, only when it's too late. I, on the other hand, been telling you guys since 2016 that the market's going to melt down. The real estate market's going to melt down. The stock market's going to melt down. We have too much debt, and I've been bringing it to you how they're loosening the lending, how X and Y and corporations are buying back their own stocks. The insiders of these corporations selling their stocks before the market crashed. And I was just like, guys, I mean, I was so thankful that I didn't have any money in the stocks, but I'm sure a lot of people did. Okay, you may watch, may have, or you may know people that may have. So now we're at the housing bubble 2.0, and it's in the process of busting. It was in the process of busting in 2019 when people were not able to sell their homes, and I could smell it. Okay, and now we have a large amount of people unemployed. We have now a large amount of people that were not able to pay their car payments before this situation happened. We have a large amount of people that these forbearance are going to be almost over. In another month, a month and a half, the program is going to be almost over. And now these sellers are going to be in deep trouble because instead of just making one payment at a time, they're going to have to come up with the three payments that they skip plus the fourth payment. And majority of sellers are not going to be in a situation, in my opinion, um, to do that. Some of them may, right? But I don't think most of them will. Like people that are living, paycheck to paycheck. The other thing is that this house market crash is going to be a bloodbath because there's going to be foreclosures of all kinds of people losing their jobs. There's going to be homeowners competing with home sellers. I'm sorry, home builders to sell their home, and you're going to have banks, REO properties in competition. You're going to have Airbnb, Superhost going to foreclosure competition. You're going to have divorce rate a lot higher because of people losing their jobs and going at their spouses. It's going to increase, which is going to indirectly relate to higher real estate foreclosures. So it's happening. They're just not televising it. And this is what I've been saying all the time. They're just not televising it. Okay. Now, there is a lot of opportunity and there's also a lot of risk. I constantly get people messaging me, and I appreciate everyone that messaged me. Like some guy messaged me on my last two videos. He said, Mike, you know, um, it's going to be hard to find renters to pay rent. And I agree with this gentleman. Thanks for leaving that comment, my man. I hope you're watching right now because I'm trying to answer your question. You're right, dude. It is going to be hard to find renters to pay rent. So there's always risk in anything. But the difference is there's two types of individuals. One type of individual, like my viewer, only focuses on the negative, why it's not going to work. The other type of individual, like myself, understands the negative, but I'm focusing on the opportunity. So there's two types of people. Some people only look at, well, if I take that cheese, the mousetrap might close on me. and other people just focus on the cheese, right? What their goals are, just to simplify the goals and dreams. So for many people, and up in an environment like this, there is no opportunity. They just see blood, they see fear, and that's okay. And I'm very happy. I bet on that. I love when people have that because they don't get into the game. For me, in an opportunity like this, I just see opportunities. So to answer my viewer's question, yes, you are right that they're going to be harder, or there's going to be risk, or it's going to be harder to find renters. You're absolutely right. But there's also a lot of opportunity. So he has the mindset of focusing on the negativity, while I'm focusing on the positivity, opportunity. So whatever you focus on, as my wrestling coach always said, whatever your head goes, the body will follow. So for his window of life, he sees the negativity. And so for him, that's what he's going to harvest. For me, I see the positivity. I understand there's risk. And when I get into something, I look at risk and reward. Okay. For example, for me, 2016, 2015, 2014 were like the worst risk for me to get into real estate because the prices were going up and up. Everyone and their mama was getting into real estate. If it was Airbnb superhosts, if it was wholesalers, it was fix and flippers. I had, people that were just teachers, got to start doing fix and flip, had no experience in business, having success. But I bet you right now, they they they've got knocked down. I could put money on that. I'm not even a gambling guy, so I don't want to gamble. But I could bet you that these individuals are now got the uppercut because the credit crunch, their credit cards are getting less. It's harder to borrow money, and so on and so on. Now, so answer my viewer's question is whatever you think, that's what you get. For me, this is the best time ever. And I'm not here to persuade anyone for you to, this is the best time for you. I'm just expressing my opinion. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a CPA. I'm not an attorney. I'm just a refugee to America. I'm just a guy that started with $100, living out of my car, out of college, never had a job, never worked for the man. I'm 42 years old. Only time I worked for the man was like junior high and high school as a freshman. That's it. And those are like dumb jobs where you just fill out application, they hire you, and I'm a busboy, or I'm a, just, and I did that just to learn about different types of businesses. So for me, I see opportunity, but for many, they see negativity. And that's totally fine. And I like that because the more people that, are scared, they want to sit this one out, the better it is for me or people like me. If everyone was going to be like me, then there would not be opportunity for me and people like me. I hope that makes sense. Okay. 2016 was when I set out, and I was doing the, ringing the bell for everyone of how dangerous it is, because the risk and reward was so much risk, this much reward. In the 2020 crash, there's this much opportunity, this much risk, the way I, in my window of life. For other people, it's totally opposite, and I love that because I want that, because that right there is what was going to help me get the deal without a lot of competition, because everyone's not going to sign up to run into the building that's on fire, which is amazing, and I like that. So to answer my viewer's question, is what you see is what happens to you in life. I visualize abundance in this 2020 collapse. Some people may visualize hardship in this collapse. Whatever you decide, it's up to you, is what I'm trying to tell you. And guess what? The universe listens to that. And so I choose to put my energy, my life energy, into opportunities. Other people put their life energy into what ifs this doesn't happen, what if this, worries and stress, and that's why I say start where you stand, because the best way to stop thinking is to take action. You'll get instant feedback. If you did it right, you get feedback. If you did it wrong, you get feedback. Now the question is, are you willing to go further if you get a no, if you get a negative feedback, if you get a punch in the face? And for many people, the pain is too much, which is awesome, right? But if you want to be an entrepreneur, if you don't want to work for the man, then guess what? You got to take those no's, you got to take those negativities and turn them into a beautiful garden that harvests. That's why shit, urine gives you a harvest. So you got to take shit and turn to a fruit for yourself, if that makes any sense. Okay. Now, We talked about the warning of Bank of America, that they said that the CEO thinks that the crash is not going to be very fast. It's going to be the end of next year that he thinks is going to recover, which I think is a bunch of crap. Okay. We talked about Social Security crisis that no one's talking about, right? We talked about the housing bubble and where all this inventory is going to come. If you guys want me to do a video about where all the different types of inventory is, leave a comment and I'll do a video about that. Okay. Um, and I'll take some questions. If you guys have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them for you. All right. Evan Adams, what's going on, man? Jordan, hey, Mike, what's up? Still involved in cryptos? Absolutely. Am I stalled? Am I involved in cryptos? Well, crypto. That's a cool thing about cryptos. It's like, you put your money up, you put your money into your wallet, and you just kind of relax. So I'm not a trader, so I don't have to worry about that. Absolutely. I already made my investments. When I told you guys that, when it was from when it was Bitcoin had crashed from like 18, 20,000 dollars, when it became 50%, all the way down to 3,500. I've been buying, and there's been time that I bought and increased my positioning. I haven't sold any. I'm not going to sold any anytime soon. 7 to 10 year play for me, just like this real estate. The houses that I'll get in 2020, I'm not going to be trying to sell it next month or next year or next 3 years from now, because I know the market is not going to come back in 2 or 3 years. There's no way, in my opinion, the market's going to go up. The 2020 is going to be worse a crash than the 19th century, ladies and gentlemen. Worse a crash in the 19th century. Millions of people lost their job in the last crash, which is the 19th century, but it took a while for that to happen. In less than 5 weeks, we have so many people unemployed. Okay, we're having food shortages because plants, farmers, slaughterhouses, distributing, they're closing down. So there's going to be massive wealth exchange. I don't know how to say that. It's going to be massive. This is not your normal crash. This is a type of crash that we see every 100 years, when the, the currency fails because of mismanagement, from the Fed to Big Brother, from endless wars to massive printing to just a debt penniers, debt penniers. And I'm so tired of debt penniers. All these people get up here and they show you all this flash, and they don't, they're just indebted, right? And a lot of people think, oh, they have everything, but no, man. I believe in creativity, imagination. I believe in you and me. I don't believe in the bankers. I don't believe in getting the handout. I believe in, like, plowing the ground, putting the seed, covering it up, and having faith that nature's going to take care of it, and having the risk and then harvesting. I don't believe in eating my harvest before I even put a seed in the ground, called debt. Okay, I know everyone and their mama uses that system, right? But we see these people being naked right now. If there were real estate investors, if there were entrepreneurs, if there were car dealerships, it doesn't matter. Anyone that uses debt is just slave to the bankers, taking that credit away from them at any moment. And the worst thing is that everyone is too leveraged out, and they're living the good time. And when the music stops, they're gonna realize how naked they are, dancing with the sharks, aka banks. Okay, let's see. All right, hey, why don't you have a call in number to talk to you about your subject to? That's a really good question. Okay, um, the simple answer is that we don't have a sales team. I had three businesses, I had multiple locations, I had a big company, and I don't want that, because in this business, if you cannot make a decision for yourself, then your odds of being an entrepreneur or a real estate investor is slim. Like, you go to other places that they have people, they call you, they do all this stuff, they try to sell you, they want you, right? But see, if you need that, then you got to go for that. Right? With me, I have a website. I use automation. Everything's automatic. If you don't have the ability to use technology, then I'm not the guy for you. If you don't have the ability to pull on the trigger yourself, then I'm not a guy for you, right? I mean, it's just very, very simple. And I can't be for everyone, right? And the reason is because I want you to win. So if we work together, I don't want you to be influenced by me or by my VAs to pull, to buy something, or, I don't want that. I've been doing sales since high school. Right? I don't want to do any of that. I don't even like sales anymore. So, you know, I have very low overhead. I don't have any debt. I can run my business however I want to, and this is the way I run it, right? Uh, if you don't respect that, I don't have a problem with it. There's millions of other guys that'll have 80 people there to call you and sell you, and they wear suits and all that stuff, and that's great, and I respect them. But that's just not at the dojo. Mr. No Fluff is, hey, no fluff, dude. I want to help you get where you're trying to go to. If you can't pull on the trigger yourself, if you can't make a decision by yourself, then there's no way in hell if you see a deal tomorrow and it's 60 cents on a dollar, you're gonna have to be like, oh, let me ask my wife, let me ask my cousin, let me ask this guy, and before you know, the deal's gone. Because you got to learn how to make decisions as an entrepreneur, as a real estate investor. Man, 30 seconds or less. If it takes you more. Like if I see a deal, I don't have to go ask my brother, my cousin, my mama, I may consult them, but man, my decision is already made in my mind because majority of times these people don't know what's going on, right? And so I learned that people that can't make decisions, people that need to be pushed to be their dreams, are not going to make it. So that's why we don't have it. Now, if you like to pay for my time to talk to you, I'd be happy to do that. I charge $750. But it's much better if you join the profit sharing. It's much cheaper for you, more economic. World man says the man himself. What's going on, my man? World citizen. I like that. All right. Yeah, Jordan, I already answered your questions, man. There's a reason I don't want to talk to people, and I already answered that. You gotta be able to make decisions on your own. We don't have sales team. We don't want to have a sales team. Everything's on website. If you can pull the trigger that way, then I'm not the right guy for you. No disrespect. Not easy finding a good tenant when everyone is out of work. Maybe the best tenant would be someone on Section 8 program. That's a very good option. But again, like I just said, there's two types of people in the world. There are people that are just going to look at the negativity, and there's going to be people that are going to look at the opportunity. Okay. I'm the type of person that, looks at both. In 2016, I looked at negativity. I was like, dude, the risk is so high, the reward is so small in real estate because I knew it was about to pop. Now that it's popped and it's even going to pop a lot further, right? The risk is little, the opportunity is a lot. So I look at it that way. Some people think, hey, this is a bad time. Then it's a bad time for you. Don't get into it. I mean, don't do anything because I say or some YouTuber says it, right? You, if in your gut you feel like it's a bad time, then guess what? That's what you're gonna manifest. So sit this one out. I said this one, not financial advice. I'm not trying to tell you what to do. I'm just saying, I'm just talking in general. Set that one out. But for me, I think it's an amazing time, right? Just because people are broke, there's a whole section of people that they're going to be making millions of dollars. There's businesses that are actually flourishing in this shitty economy, and they're making a lot of money. So I would just look for those type of individuals versus the broke people. Does that make sense? Because one example is there's going to be a lot of business owners that are going to have 10, 20 grand down, and they may want to buy a house that I have a subject to. Give me the 10, 20 grand down because the bank's going to require that plus good credit. So I can buy property subject to, and I can create a whole new note and where I become the bank, even though that I didn't even put any money in there. I just took over someone's payment, and I could sell it to a seller, I mean to a buyer, excuse me, that has a successful business that's making a lot of money. Yes, some businesses will go under, but there are a lot of businesses that are making a whole lot of money. Depends on what your business is, okay? So there are tenants, there are risk, and there are good tenants, and there are good buyers, and it depends on what you believe is going to happen. For me, 2020 is the best time to be a real estate investor. It's a subject to heaven. I'm so blessed to be an American. I'm so blessed to be able to experience this greatest recession ever. Because I'm a refugee to America. I got to make moves now. Let me say that again. I'm a refugee to America. I got to make moves in these times. I'm not making moves in 2016, 2015, 2014 when people were just starting their YouTube channel and then becoming real estate investors. No, man, those are the fools. 2020, when no one wants to do it, when everyone thinks there's bad renters and bad this and bad that, perfect, perfect. That's exactly what I like. That's exactly what I like. but good comments. All right, guys. Before I forget, let me see. John. So maybe the higher market is the path, Mike. That could also be. It all depends on, for example, what you like to do. For example, me, I'm not gonna buy higher end homes, right? I just don't want to do that because I know that my business is first time home buyers. Okay. So I buy beautiful entry level homes or first time home buyers. They're not in the ghetto. They don't need repairs. They're not like that. They're in nice school zones that appreciate. And I know that when I buy a house, I'm not going to sell it tomorrow. I'm not going to sell it in 5 years. It's a 7 to 10 year play. I mean, every time I do something, it's usually 7 to 10 year play. I'm not a trader. I'm not like trying to wholesale deals. And I'm 42 years old. I don't have the life energy, nor do I want to do that much hustle. I'd rather spend time with my kids. I mean, guys, you got to understand that, like, I came to America with $100 and I made multi-million dollars. I started three different businesses and I let it all go, give it up, most of it to homeless people, and went homeless myself. So I don't give a shit about material things anymore, right? There's opportunities, and I'm going to get into it to buy my kids a couple of houses, but I'm not here to knock a bunch of doors and to make so much money. I mean, I've already played that and I wasn't happy because I realized it was a lie. Just like fiat dollars is a lie, right? Like debt is a lie. I realized that accumulation and more is just a lie because if you really have success, you really quickly realize that it's pretty empty there, because everything they told you about success is baloney, right? But I don't want to get into that. I want everyone to go their own path and figure that out for themselves, right? So it's just a lie, dude. Everything, the stock market is a lie. It's been manipulated. The gold spot prices are lies. That's why if you go look at gold today, whatever the spot price is, 1720, 1740, then you go to, for example, goldsilver.com, or you go into typing gold on the internet, buy gold, and there's hundreds of websites will come up. Every single one, the price of the spot prices and what they're going to charge you is like $100 more, and they're going to tell you, hey, it's going to be 3 to 12 weeks wait, because the spot price is a lie. Okay, is manipulated through fake paper, right? Same thing with the stock market. It's manipulated. When a corporation is allowed to buy their own stocks to boost their stocks, think about it, man. Does that sound really fair? For the average retail buyer, they don't know what that is, right? They don't even understand what that means, right? But they're just happy that they're phantom gains and their 401s are going up. Yeah, man, my money's going up. Not realizing that they're never ever going to be able to extract that equity out because by the time they're ready to, the bankers have sucked it away. It was illusion. I mean, we see this so many times. Okay, so that's why I don't like stocks, right? I like hard assets. I like hard assets, if that makes sense. Now, Bitcoin is not a hard asset, but in one way it is because no one owns it. There's a certain amount, but I like real estate. I like physical gold. Um, I don't like stocks, but not saying that they're not good. I might buy some stocks myself when the market goes down for the second round, guys, because I believe that it's going to go down. Now I might be wrong, and okay, but I think it's going to go down a lot more. I think that this is just the beginning, and we've seen massive losses. And wait 6 months, wait a year and a half, we're going to see more. Okay, because what they're doing right now, which is more debt, printing more debt, is what got us here. Debtpreneurs is what got us here. Corporate caring about not the community, not caring about their products, just caring about their values going up, bosses taking big paychecks and commissions, top management taking the money. They don't care about the company or the workers, nor do they care about the community. It's just fake. Okay. So because of these behaviors of over leveraging from Ford to GM to every company you can imagine, so many companies, they're all indebted. Sears, JC Penney's, Macy's. I mean, golly, the bankruptcy after bankruptcy. I mean, how many companies? How can a company have 50 locations, 100 locations all over America and not have any cushion in their savings, right? As a big corporation, how is that possible? right? So you can see that everything's fake. They're all naked now, and more debt is not going to solve the problem. More debt is going to kill the dollar, is going to kill the world reserve currency, and the life we have in America. We have so much abundance, but we haven't harvested. Is going to be over. It's going to be over. All right. Okay. All right, guys. I got an appointment, so I want to get out of here. Go to mrnofluff.com. Download my Ninja phone script. I only got 2 left, guys, at 197. Peace.